Hello again. This is Andrew Culkin, the author of Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. It's the story of my wife's 20-year decline with alcoholism and her passing a little over 3 years ago. Today I want to talk about something that's very on the minds of a lot of families that have an alcoholic in their family, and it has to do with interventions, and it has to do with rehab facilities. There used to be a show a few years ago called Intervention, and it would tell a story of the person, of the alcoholic. Then they would trick them into thinking that they're making a documentary, and then their family would come in and they'd have an intervention and this heart-wrenching process where they would, each family member would go around and tell what they felt for the person and how disappointed they were, and what changes would take place if they didn't in fact participate in the intervention. And 9 times out of the 10, the person generally went either half-heartedly or wholeheartedly, and a lot of times it wasn't successful. They would say, the person had a relapse, they left after 3 weeks, but quite often there was a lot of success stories. The things with interventions or with rehab facilities, my wife went to 7 of them, and I don't want to talk about that particular case because that's an extraordinary case, but interventions do have their place. By and large, intervention or rehab facilities will help people if you work it, and it should be looked at as a tool. Family members should not look at a rehab facility as the end-all, and that if they go to the rehab facility, they're going to suddenly have magic pixie dust sprinkled on their loved one, and they're going to come home sober and never drink again. I wish it was that simple. It's the beginning. Usually it's a 30 or 60, 90-day rehab facility. And these things are the beginning. It's a break from the alcoholic's day-to-day activities. It's also designed for the family, because then the family also gets a break. And they know what it's like to live without that person. They need a break. The alcoholic, on the other hand, has to go through generally a pretty rigorous formal, informal way of exposing themselves. They have to deal with a lot of self-actualization, and there's no messing around a rehab facility. Now, once they get out, they need to do the work. They need to continue with AA meetings. They need to get an accountability partner. And if these things don't take place, that person could be right back even worse than they were before they went to the rehab. A lot of times my wife was right back to where she was after a couple of weeks because the work wasn't taking place. She didn't go to her AA meetings. She didn't do a lot of the things that she was supposed to do. Alcoholism is something that's going to be with the person for their entire life. The longer they are separated from the problem, the better chances they have. But unfortunately, you want to get somebody into rehab in stage 1 or 2. By stage 3, if they've already become chronic, it's the chances are minimal, 5 to 10% of success rate. My whole point in this talk today is I want families to understand that a rehab facility is not the magic pill that it's sometimes proposed to be. It's just not. It's not an end-all. It's the beginning, and it's a tool to head a person, an alcoholic, in the right direction. I hope that helps. Again, you can go to the website www.Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. You can sign up, and the book will be coming out in the fall of 2023. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll talk again soon.